if we've gained a better understanding of the lower back and how it gets injured, what we can now start to do is look at parts 3 and 4 of overcoming lower back pain, which is learning how to look for triggers and then how to go about reducing them. Now, this all sort of is encapsulated in an assessment. Now, it's a physical assessment and it's a sort of a verbal assessment, if you will. So there's a consultation period to it. So what we need to be able to do is, what we're essentially doing is looking for evidence, much like a detective would. We've got to look for evidence of being in pain and being pain-free. Once we can find that evidence, what we can start to do is we can start to tailor a program. And this is very important because, as I've mentioned with the previous example, person A and B, where one person had person A had a disc herniation 2 years ago and person B had a disc herniation 3 months ago, their rehabilitation, they're at completely different stages. So their rehabilitations are going to be different. So we need to be able to look for that. And we need to be able to understand that. And then we can start to logically put together a rehabilitation program. So if we talk about looking for triggers, what type of triggers will we look for? Well, if we create a person C and a person D now. So person C gets up in the morning and it's all a bit painful. But as the morning goes on and as the day goes on, it starts to ease and it starts to free up. Then we look at person D. They're the opposite. They're pain-free in the morning, but as the day goes on, it starts to get a bit niggly. And then by the end of the day, they're kind of like, I'm done now. This is painful. Again, two opposing problems, but they're both in pain. Now, this can be identified, and this is one of the questions that I ask people, is does the pain occur in the morning and get better? Is the pain better in the morning but it comes on through the day? Or obviously, is it painful in the morning and it's painful all day? So by choosing one of those, and we're just going to take either end of the spectrum. So we've got person C, painful in the morning, and person D, where it gets painful during the end of the day. Now, everything that I'm about to say would need more investigation. So we'd need to use our detective skills a little bit more, ask more questions, do some physical testing. So that is a given. But if we just keep it simple for the purposes of this, what we would do, and again, all of this is in the Christopher Hall Training Academy. The short course about looking for triggers goes through all these example questions and all example tests. We test the lower back, we test the hips, we test the core, we test the core muscles for muscle trigger points. So we look at all these different factors. So when people say it's multifactorial, okay, let's lay them out, let's test them, let's find out. And one of the example questions is, when does it happen? And what people say is, I wake up in the morning and I just feel really stiff, and then as the day goes on, it starts to ease. So what they've given you is a little bit of a clue into how to reduce that trigger, because they may have stiffness in the muscles in the morning, and when they move around, it eases. So logically in your head, you could go, well, let's test their hip range of movement. Do they have stiff hips? Are their muscles all just a bit jammed up around the hips? If they are, then it might be useful, again, as I've mentioned, further testing, further questioning, to confirm it And all of that is in the Christopher Training Academy. You may find that, okay, well, let's loosen off these hips. Let's try and get these muscles more pliable so they can move. So when you wake up in the morning, then either not as stiff in the morning, or you've got a protocol in the morning to loosen them off so it reduces the pain quickly. Then we go to person D, who is the pain comes on in the day. So what's going on there? So it's not there in the morning. Now they could be stiffening up as the day goes on, which again, you've got your logical, but what could also be happening is there could be a fatiguing element or a lack of endurance element as well. So what's starting to happen there is we need to build endurance and a resistance to fatigue, which is endurance essentially, into the muscles. So again, by asking simple questions, gaining those clues, so you investigate with the questions, people give you the information back, which is the data, which are the clues, and what you should hopefully see is it doesn't take a great deal of understanding to be able to think, oh, well, if it's in the morning and then it eases, is it just a stiffness thing and it's just all a bit tight in the morning and then it loosens off? Well, okay, well, what can I do to unstiffen something? Okay, maybe some stretches will work. Again, test it, measure it. Does it work? Yes. Okay, continue doing it. Does it work? No. Okay, we need to think of something else. So again, this is not a blanket black and white process. It is a process of education, learning about pain and learning about your own body or someone else's body. Because professionals will find this useful and people of the public will find it useful because it's just an education process. So there are two very simple strategies to start doing, but obviously that's just based on one question. There's more to this. Again, all of that's in the academy, which you can find below. Just click the link and you can go and learn more about this, because again, these two stages 3 is one short course and stage 4 is another short course. So again, they're all short courses. There's lots of detail. I laid a lot of it out so you can make sense of it. What you can also do as well is there's a public comment section below each lesson. Leave comments that comes through to me, so there's an interaction. It's not just you learning. Leave questions, I'll answer them. It will help the group as well with regards to adding knowledge. If something comes up enough, maybe I need to redo the lesson, I can update the lesson. So with regards to to lower back pain, if we can investigate well enough, the solution and the rehabilitation part should lay itself out in and of itself, because from those two examples you should be able to see that. Again, it just needs a bit of testing and measuring, and we can either keep doing it or not keep doing it. So that's stages 3 and 4, which is looking for triggers and then going about reducing them. Once we've got to this point, so what we're now starting to do is starting to introduce everyday or updating everyday movement and exercise, but it's not fitness training. That comes in the final stage. Once we've started to reduce pain, we can then go into the final stage 5, which is how to rebuild a lower back.